In Hebrews 11 and verse 6, the Hebrew writer wrote, "And without faith it is impossible to please him. For he who comes to God must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of those who seek him." Not only does faith allow us to please God, it is impossible to please God without it. The men of old gained approval from God by faith, Hebrews 11 and verse 2. And several of these heroes of faith were cited by the writer of Hebrews in this chapter as examples for Christians today. We must understand that faith involves believing in God, trusting in God, and obeying God. And these are all necessary if we want to be pleasing to God. We must believe God in order to please Him. Referring to the Gentiles, Paul wrote, "For even though they knew God, they did not honor Him as God or give thanks, but they became futile in their speculations, and their foolish heart was darkened." Romans 1 and verse 21. Though they had ample evidence to believe in the existence of God, they rejected this evidence. In this state of refusing to believe in the existence of God, they would never honor Him. We must also trust in God in order to please Him. The wise man said, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and do not lean on your own understanding," Proverbs 3 and verse 5. And as he continued, he explained one of the ways that this is done. "Honor the Lord from your wealth and from the first of all of your produce," Proverbs 3 and verse 9. To honor God from the first of one's produce demonstrated that it was a priority to show honor to Him. Not only that, but it was an indication that one trusted in God, the giver of all good things, that He would continue to provide even after the first of the produce was received. Paul said that we are not to fix our hope on the uncertainty of riches, but on God, who richly supplies us with all things to enjoy, 1 Timothy 6 and verse 17. Also, we must obey God in order to please Him. Paul told the brethren in Colossae to walk in a manner worthy of the Lord, to please Him in all respects, Colossians 1 and verse 10. Their walk referred to their manner of life. And to please God, they needed to live a life of obedience. We are to walk in the light as He is in the light in order to be cleansed of our sins, 1 John 1 and verse 7. And remember the example of the Israelites and how they regularly disobeyed God, 1 Corinthians 10 verses 5 through 11. Their disobedience was directly tied to their lack of faith. And in citing this example, the Hebrew writer used disobedience and unbelief as synonyms. And to whom did he swear that they would not enter His rest? But to those who were disobedient. So we see that they were not able to enter because of their unbelief. Hebrews 3, verses 18 and 19. Our purpose in life is to please God. When John was shown a vision of heaven, he saw the creatures and elders around the throne praising God because He created all things, and for His pleasure they are and were created. Revelation 4 and verse 11. All things were created because it was God's will for them to be created, and they exist in order to please Him. We often point out that our purpose in life is to fear God and keep His commandments, Ecclesiastes 12 and verse 13. Both of these, pleasing God and reverent obedience, are directly tied to our faith. If we do not have faith in God, there's no motivation to strive to please Him. Also, if we do not have faith in God, we will have no reason to fear Him or obey Him. In order to fulfill our purpose in life, to live in such a way that is pleasing to God, we must have faith, for without faith it is impossible to please Him. Friends, we thank you for joining us for our program today. We hope that you will consider the things that we have discussed, and that God will bless you with a wonderful day.